The essence of a living philosophy is that it must be alive. To be alive, it must be lived.
We can all fool ourselves.
This video has the purpose to explain a little bit of bodybuilding history and analyze how it has been changing through the years in order to determine if bodybuilding is healthy or not. In order to start, it has to be established a common term for bodybuilding. According to Ducton, the term of bodybuilder covers a wide range of activities, from professional athletes that compete and make a living out of their bodies, all the way to a normal individual that just goes to the gym. According to Ducton, it is the competition factor that separates a bodybuilder from the general public that practice weights in order to develop muscle. This implies that the person has to compete in order to call itself a bodybuilder. This concept of Ducton is an old concept because in today's world exists something that is called influencers, that are people that have a relatively big importance in social media, and they also have muscular physiques just like a bodybuilder. The only thing is that they do not compete. Building has been changing through the years. It has to be acknowledged where it all started. It all started with the German Eugen Sandow. He is considered to be the father of modern bodybuilding. In his early life, he used to work at a circus where he would lift up heavy things or people in order to impress an audience watching the show. People were amazed on how much weight Sandow could handle. But it all changed in 1889. He won the title of World's Strongest Man in a competition in England. When he won the title, he started gaining a lot of popularity in Europe. So he stopped doing shows to dedicate to the theater industry, where he went on stage and performed a series of numerous poses while someone was playing a musical piece. And that was the moment when bodybuilding was created. The shows got so popular that he signed a contract for $250,000. That was the beginning of the bodybuilding competitions that today take place. After Sandow's show, it took a while to other shows to start gaining popularity. In fact, it was not until the late 1930s that bodybuilding shows started getting really popular, with competitions like Mr. America in 1939. Now, there's an important factor in bodybuilding that hasn't been mentioned, and that is the use of anabolic steroids for athletes to increase their performance. According to Giselis, steroids are synthetic derivatives of testosterone, the hormone that makes a man a man. The use of anabolic steroids has been present ever since 1939, when the German biochemist Adolf Butenandt discovered how to create synthetic testosterone. This quickly got the attention of a big pharmaceutical company, and they started mass producing the steroid. It also started getting really cheap to produce, and more important, more people were aware of the positive effects of steroids. After a couple years, they were everywhere. But it took a while for steroids to reach bodybuilding community. It wasn't until the 1950s that steroids started gaining a lot of popularity for its enormous increase in muscle mass and performance. The most important period of time was the Golden Era. It took place from the 1970s to the 1980s. According to Schwarzenegger, it got its name from the Gold's Gym, a famous gym located in Venice Beach, where all the famous bodybuilders of all the time used to train. Some bodybuilders were Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, Dave Draper, and many more like them. The Golden Era was so important because it changed the look of bodybuilders. bodybuilders of this period started getting really big due to steroid use. This was the first generation of bodybuilder in which, in order to be a professional bodybuilder, it was necessary to consume steroids, due to the great results that it came with. The point here is that bodybuilding was more healthy back in its early years, during the periods that steroids were not around, back when the sport was more simple. The problem with steroids is that they affect your health in several ways. According to Pulp, anabolic steroids can cause a wide range of side effects that range from mood swings, shrinking in testicles, all the way to a heart attack. With all this said, it's clearly appreciated that the use of steroids come with some serious risks. Can be appreciated by looking at the bodybuilders of the golden era today. A clear example is the famous 7 times Mr. Olympia, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has publicly accepted the side effects of steroids. He personally suffers heart problems, and some doctors have said that he will suffer an early death due to the abuse of steroids. People may believe that the side effects are worth it. That's why there is always going to be the fight between clean people that doesn't use steroids and the people that do use them. In the end, it all comes in your mentality, what you believe is worth it or what you don't believe. But the evidence will always be there.